You won't believe this. An HOA Karen called the cops on me, demanding they haul me off, all because I dared build a tool shed in my own backyard. But here's the kicker she didn't know. When the patrol car rolled up, I was the one stepping out, badge in hand. That's right, I'm the sheriff of this county. And Karen just made the biggest mistake of her life. Picture her pointing at my house, yelling, "Arrest him!" then freezing like a deer in headlights as I pinned my badge to my chest. Her smug grin melting faster than ice in July. She thought she'd won, her clipboard a crown, not knowing I'd turn her stunt into a lesson she'd never forget. This story starts with a petty complaint, twists through a web of lies, and ends with a showdown that'll leave you cheering. Stick around because Karen's about to learn you don't mess with the law in your own yard. Let's drop you into Willow Creek, a quiet Illinois suburb where lawns hum with sprinklers, kids pedal bikes till dusk, and old oak shade porches heavy with iced tea. I am Sheriff Martinez, 52, retired after 25 years wearing the badge, now settled in my parents' old house, a wood frame relic I swore to keep alive. My dad was a carpenter, hands tough as cedar, eyes sharp as a hawk's. He taught me to swing a hammer, plant a board, and build something that lasts. 2 years ago, I built a redwood shed in the backyard. Nothing fancy, just a spot for garden tools, my lawnmower, a few rakes. It wasn't just a shed, it was where I'd tinker after Mom passed, Scout, my mutt, napping nearby, where I'd feel Dad's nod when the world got loud. Every plank was his lesson, every nail my roots. A piece of them I'd guard with my life. Willow Creek wasn't all nostalgia. New blood rolled in, McMansions popping up like dandelions. Enter Karen, HOA president, the self-anointed queen of Willow Creek Estates, ruling with a clipboard meaner than her perm. She didn't manage. She mauled, her bylaws a cage for anything free. Wrong fence color? $300 fine. Too loud birds? Warning letter. Clara, my neighbor, got a $400 hit for a tacky birdhouse. It had a blue roof, big whoop. Karen's patrols were relentless. Her SUV cruising at dawn, clipboard snapping like a bear trap, sniffing out joy like a bloodhound. Willow Creek Estates wasn't a community. It was her dungeon. Neon finds her whip, her smirk a wall nobody dared climb. My shed was her obsession. Tucked in my yard, zoned free. It stood legal. No HOA rule touched it. I kept low, gardening by day, tinkering nights, Scout chasing squirrels, no trouble. Folks knew me as the quiet guy, not the ex-sheriff. I liked fading into the shed's shade, Dad's hammer still heavy in my hand. Clara dropped muffins, griping Karen's fines. Her mailbox took a $350 hit for faded red. Jamal, town mechanic, cursed a $450 smoke fine. His grill was pure art. Rosa, whose roses bloomed like poetry, paid $500 for excessive petals. Petals? I'd chuckle, thinking my permits outranked Karen's pen. I'd locked up killers. A clipboard was a toy. But Karen's eyes fixed on my shed. She called it a shack, once, her sneer cutting deeper than a saw. Shack. It was Dad's heart, my haven, and I'd defend it with every ounce of my badge. Karen's war started with a thud, a neon notice nailed to my shed, her HOA seal glaring like a wanted poster. She didn't knock. She ambushed, standing in my yard like she owned my rake. Your shed, she said, flipping her clipboard with a nail sharp as her smirk, is illegal. It's a blight on our standards. Blight? My redwood box was zoned free, permits clean as my badge. I leaned on my shovel, sipping coffee, and slid my paperwork over, city-stamped bulletproof. Not your turf, Karen, I said, voice flat as a cell lock. It's my yard. Her lips twitched, eyes glinting like a coyote eyeing a coop. Yards don't run Willow Creek, she purred, venom cloaked in sugar. Rules do, and rules have claws. Claws. That wasn't a chat. It was a threat. I peeled the notice, Scout's growl matching my gut, figuring she'd back off. No chance. By week's end, notices piled, printed, official pure garbage. Unpermitted structure, $600 fine. Aesthetic nuisance, $500. Safety hazard, $700. Hazard? My shed held rakes, not rockets. I filed them, sheriff's instincts buzzing. Stack proof, don't swing. But Karen wasn't tossing darts. She was loading a cannon. She crashed my Sunday pruning, Scout's ears flat. Her SUV parked like a barricade. Clara weeded nearby. Jamal fixed a fence. Rosa watered roses. Karen ignored them, zeroing on me, clipboard tapping like a war drum. That shed's tanking our values, she said, voice dripping scorn. Tear it down, or we act. Act. My yard wasn't her lot. I wiped my brow, cool as a stakeout. Permits are clean, Karen. You got no play. Her grin turned icy. She wasn't asking. She was ordering. Clara whispered, she's trouble. Jamal nodded. Find my grill, $4.54 smoke. Smoke? Karen's eyes dared me to swing. Then it hit. A Sunday, sun barely up, sirens wailing. 2 deputies rolled in, hands on belts, faces tight. Report of an illegal structure, one said, eyeing my shed, possible smuggling. Smuggling? I led them back, showed permits, then, slowly, pulled my badge. Sheriff Martinez, I said, pinning it on. Their jaws dropped. You're the sheriff? I nodded. Now, who called you out for shed? Karen's name wasn't out yet, but her claws were, and I'd sniff her out. Karen's cop call wasn't a jab. It was a missile, her lies no longer petty, but a full-on assault, aiming to bury my shed like it was trash. The fines didn't just stack, they choked. Each one a boulder stab. Structural violation. $1,000 fine. Violation. My redwood was tougher than her SUV's ego. Odor nuisance. $800. My tools smelled of cedar, not rot. Then came security threat. $1,200, claiming it lured thieves. Thieves? Kids played tag nearby, not felons. I locked them in my safe, sheriff's instinct screaming, build the case, don't crack. But Karen wasn't playing. She was hunting, and my shed was her mark. I sniffed trouble. Years on the badge taught me to spot crooks. I checked my shed, planks tight, no flaws. But signs grew. Clara caught Ted, Karen's lackey, snapping pics of my gate. Said it's for a survey. She hissed, but he had a radio. Radio? Jamal saw Barb with a contractor, Karen's inspector, packing a flashlight. Inspector? More like a spy. I dusted my shed, smudged prints, enough to flag. Rosa tipped me. Karen's at the diner, crowing, shed's done, clean town next. Clean? This wasn't a fine. It was a setup. I hit the 911 logs. Karen's voice, shrill, claiming smuggling, threats from my shed. Smuggling? My rakes weren't dope. I filed a report with the DA, false alarms, civil harassment, felony misuse of emergency systems. Emma, my old deputy, pulled HOA records. Karen's fines, hundreds, no council vote, pure fraud. I dug deeper. Karen's backyard, a glitzy fish pond, no permits, breaking her own bylaws. Hypocrite? My badge burned. This wasn't a spat. It was a bust. I moved quiet, stacked her notices, Clara's photos, Jamal's tip, Ted's texts, shed flagged. Boss happy. Happy. Not for long. Karen's HOA chat brag. Willow Creek's pure. Pure? She'd lied to cops, thinking I'd fold. Fold? I was sheriff. This wasn't a fight. It was a takedown, and her lies were my bait. Willow Creek woke to whispers. Neighbors gawked. Fines piling. My shed the town's new drama. I stood by my redwood, badge in pocket, but my sheriff's blood boiled like a storm. Faces turned. Clara's eyes widened. You're that Martinez? Jamal grinned. Knew you'd steal. Karen's HOA pack, parked nearby, froze. Ted's coffee hit the dirt. Barb's yapper choked mid-yap. Karen lounged by her gate, sunglasses low, her smirk fading. She hadn't known, hadn't dreamed the guy she'd ratted out was the county's old law dog. I leaned on my shed, planks solid despite her lies. But that 911 call was gold. Karen's voice, framing me for smuggling, ripe for cuffs. Then Emma dropped a bomb. Karen was running for city council. Her shed stunned a play to look tough on disorder. Wooing votes with HOA muscle. Politics? My gut roared. Sheriffs don't guess. We hunt. I pulled council filings. Karen's campaign, funded by fines, no receipts. Fraud, bold as her perm. I hid HOA records. Karen's orders, no votes, forcing shed teardowns. Mine first. Clara found her ex-post. Willow Creek's clean. Clean? Her fish pond, unpermitted, mocked her own rules. I stacked proof, call logs, Ted's pics, Barb's texts. Shed's trouble, boss wants it gone. Then the twist, Linda, HOA vice chair, slipped me a USB at midnight. Karen's emails. Bullying the board to fake violations, mine included. Blackmail? My badge wasn't retired. This was a bust. I called a town hall, community standards review. Karen bit, expecting applause. I booked the hall, press, council, neighbors, my badge polished. Her emails were my ace. She'd strut in, clueless. I lined up Linda's USB, Emma's logs, Clara's clip, Karen's voice. Shed's a front. Push it, front. She thought she'd won. Her permacrown. I was sheriff. This wasn't a fight. It was a sting, and her council dreams were about to crash. Karen's town hall was her stage. Willow Creek's civic center stuffed, 800 neighbors packed tight, air buzzing like a live wire. She strutted to the podium, perm, a fortress, grinning like she'd already won her council seat. "We're safeguarding Willow Creek," she crowed, my shed's photo on screen, a blight circled in red, her fines her badge of honor. "Standards? Standards?" She called cops on my rakes. Neighbors stirred. Clara's fists clenched. Rose's eyes burned. Jamal leaned forward, jaw set. Karen's smirk was iron. She thought she'd own the night. She spun lies. My shed was illegal, a drug den threatening safety. Half-nodded, conned, half-seethed, smelling rot. Ted tossed HOA Unity flyers. Floors ate them like trash. Karen glowed. "We've purified Willow Creek." Purified? My move. I rose, badge pinned, Stetson in hand, voice low as a cell door. "Karen, got proof to share?" She smirked, waving me up, expecting a plea. Rosa hissed, "End her, Sheriff." I plugged my drive, screen blazing. Karen's 911 call shrill. Smuggling threats, sheds a front. Then my permits, city stamped clean. The hall gasped. Jamal bellowed, "Liar." Karen's face drained. "It's fake." I clicked. Linda's USB, Karen's email. Shed's a problem, fake a vote. Clara's clip, Karen at the diner. Shed's gone, council's mine. Ted's text to Barb. Call worked, boss happy. Neighbors roared. Clara screamed, "Fraud." Rose's stream hit 500,000 views, phones flashing like a riot. I faced Karen, badge high. "I am Sheriff Martinez. You filed a false report, felony misuse, harassment, fraud." I tossed Emma's report. Karen's fish pond, unpermitted, a felony. Case 2025, WC 77, you're done. She choked, misunderstanding. The crowd booed. Doors burst. Deputy Klein, 10 cops, cuffs gleaming. "Karen," Klein said, "you're under arrest." Click, cuff snapped on her. Ted, Barb, dragged through jeers. Karen wailed, "You can't." We did. The hall erupted. Cheers, tears, Jamal's fist high. Clara hugging Rosa, Linda's nod like steel. Councilman Lee yelled, "HOA's done. Vote unanimous." Bylaws torched. Karen's crown was ash. My badge the hammer. Rosa's clip hit 2 million views. Neighbors chanting, "Sheriff." I stood still. Dad shed alive in their roar. Willow Creek wasn't hers. It was ours. Justice the fiercest law. Karen's cuffs didn't just end her rule. They blew her world apart. Willow Creek roared. Neighbors spilled into the street, hugging, laughing. Clara tossing muffins like confetti. Deputies hauled Ted out, his swagger drowned. Karen sobbing, "It's a frame." Frame? Her 911 call told the truth. The DA piled on. False reporting, harassment, fraud, charges stacking like case files. My report cracked her HOA. $4,000 in fines. No votes. Pure theft. Funneled to her cousin's consulting scam. Karen's lackey flipped, naming 7 scams. Sheds, fences, all fined, all tied to her sister-in-law's Creek Realty. Clara's shed, hit in 22, wasn't unsafe. Barb's text brag paid off. Rose's roses, fine last fall, same game. 25 neighbors spoke, X blazed. Hashtag Creek Justice spiking to 3 million posts. Tales from Ohio to Oregon. The council froze her accounts. $2.5 million seized, her fish pond drained. Her realty a front for scams. Karen faced 8 years, her plea dead when Barb spilled. $70,000 in inspector bribes, Karen's name on each. Willow Creek didn't watch. Fox ran, sheriff sting. But we grilled, Sang moved on. The HOA crumbled, board quit, bylaws burned. Neighbors raided the office, unearthing $2.2 million in fines. Karen's piggy bank for cruises, funded by Clara's birdhouse, Rose's tulips. Leela to vote, new council, no fines, just trust. Karen's standards, sunk my shed proud. Clara clapped my shoulder, your dad'd be proud. Proud? I felt him, urging me to stand tall. Willow Creek didn't just mend, it soared. My shed stood tall, redwood gleaming, tools neat, a new sign, not loudest wins. Not HOA rules law. Karen slunk out. 2 months later, no post, no wave, just dust. Clara's shed rose, roses bloomed. Jamal's kids raced where Karen's shadow fell. My garden thrived, no fines, all pride. I toasted Dad at dusk, Scout's tail thumping. His shed lived, fiercer than lies. Justice isn't loud, it's a badge, a town that fights. Got an HOA nightmare? A Karen who pushed too far? Drop a comment. Your wildest clash. We're watching. I read every one, craving your grit. Did this sting spark you? Smash that like. It's hammering truth on Cedar. Share with your crew, neighbors, even the guy with the loud rig. New here? Subscribe, hit the bell. We're chasing more wins, laughs, and grit, and I want you in the posse. Thanks for standing in Willow Creek. Keep building, battling, crushing nonsense. Catch you next. Stay tough, stay true.